Hello everybody and welcome back to Round 1's Back 9 coverage of the Christie Lake Ice Bowl, brought to you in part by Dynamic Discs, the Christie Lake Conservation Area, Axis Gear, I started on the right this time,
and Starbucks.
Starbucks in Waterdown.
The Keg.
And
Platform Discs.
Yep, that was all of them. I am one of your hosts. I am Julian Murphy, holding on to my brother.
Yep, because he can do that because he's strong, and I'm Justin, same people that were here earlier. And Julian, we got... Now this time I believe it is 9 holes.
Yeah, it's 9 holes this time.
Because we did the work in the first round, guys. 11 holes. That is a new record for Julian and Justin. And we're going to just do 9, like the standard 9 here for the back 9.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And going into our card, we have Cam Zanini. He is tied for first place right now after the front 11.
Rain wipe.
At 4 down. Look at that little smirk.
He knows. He's been on camera so much. It's like natural to him now.
Chris Brown is in third place after the 2 tied for first at 2 down.
Oh,
with a little wink at the camera. Hi there.
Buongiorno.
Chris Ozolins is one of the leaders as well at 4 down.
Fun fact about Chris, he's wearing the same glasses as our editor.
Yeah, yes he is. And he represents the Brontosaurus.
And independent skateboarding trucks.
James Duong, I love the spin and spin. Like there's so much spinning happening here.
So James had obviously a slow first 11. We're going to see him, I think, buckle down here. And James is a pro.
Yeah.
He's going to have the answer, I hope.
Well, he accelerated so quickly from, I think, AM2 for one tournament maybe. I don't know. And then he started winning AM1s and switched to MPO. And he's been all over the map here in Ontario. He's doing very well.
Yeah, and playing with better players will make you better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying that myself right now. I'll see if the theory is correct.
Let's get right into it. Whole time, what do we have?
It's the similar shot from shorts. I know you like the short layout because that's what you played for your round both times. This is another, I think, forehand shot. You got to hang it left over top of all this schnarb, maybe an overstable driver, and have it smash into this basket here, avoiding these 2 cut down trees. Or you can have a putter up the middle, I would say, like a hyzer flip. But you see there, the line is kind of tight. You got to boot the right side of that giant tree there and the left side of the smaller tree halfway up the fairway and hopefully get it to land on that basket as Cam is throwing a backhand here. As long as it's understable. Yeah, and it's a little bit too stable.
It's like an MD or an MD2, not 100%.
I think it was an MD16 it looked like. And he is going to have about an 80-footer to get over for his par.
And Chris Brown is throwing a...
Frisbee?
That's got the proto star on it. I'm going to say a prototype star rat. That's my guess, Chris. Comment if...
a rat? That's so stable for this.
Oh, if you put a bit of Annie on it,
wow.
Look at that. Stables up.
Perfect.
What a shot.
That is beautiful. And if it was a rat, that was a very interesting flight. I know they have like a 4 fade maybe, or 3?
I think a 3 fade. They're less stable than the numbers suggest.
True. Chris going with the overstable forehand, like I mentioned. You got to get it right there, and that might be a bit low. Yeah. It's got to be a higher shot than that to kind of smash down toward into the green.
And it's a tricky line with that tree right there.
You're a tricky line, Julian.
Thank you very much. Here's James Duong's shot.
James going backhand, even with that proficient forehand. And this looks really good.
Wow. Oh, great shot, James.
And why wouldn't you if you can put it to 18 feet? This is kind of birdie alley. I know it makes more sense from the shorts location, but 7 to 11 are holes that you want to get close on at least. As Cam lays up for his 16-foot par putt. Hopefully he can convert on that, and I think he will.
And great upshot from Oz there.
Ill-advised white disc in the winter, but we'll let it slide because he is Chris Ozolins.
And he's parked.
And he is fine, and we'll find it. It's in the circle.
All right, let's see.
Speaking of white discs.
P2 in the basket. Just like always. You guys are used to seeing that.
Yeah,
Cam for the par.
When Cam steps up to his disc, you know where it's going to end up. Speaking of great putters. Don't let me down, James.
I like that we could see his whole routine. I like that you could see his whole putting routine there. That was a really neat shot.
He's very methodical with every putt. From probably 12 feet and out. He really takes his time and focuses, and it shows on his rating, Julian. Chris Brown. Birdie.
Right in. With gusto.
Was James the birdie? Yes, James was a birdie as well. Well done, boys. Nice conversions. Christopher James Ozolins, I'm assuming.
Pulling up his par. He's saving it. It's a pretty easy hole to get a par on. I'm more concerned what his middle name is. Do you think I'm right? I think
Christopher James. It sounds good.
It does.
Okay.
Christopher Allen.
I'll have to ask. Oh, wow. No, that's really good. That gave me chills.
Christopher Allen Ozolins.
Yeah, I got goosebumps from that. That was really good. 2 birds, 2 pars. It's a very easy hole. If you don't make that initial gap off the tee, you just make sure that you get your par. And Cam and Chris showed us they could do that. And other Chris Brown, not the one you're thinking of, and James Duong got the birdies.
Into hole 11. This is a 306-foot par 3. Very, very treacherous green. The tee shot isn't too bad. It's fairly open, but you're throwing it into a forest, and you want to miss the trees on the left because if you get a nasty kick down to the left, it's a pretty steep hill there.
Yeah, and there was glad you said that because there was absolutely no footing if you were left side here. If you were trying to jump up to the basket, you were sliding onto your belly. So these guys are going to want to throw maybe a hyzer flip up to flat and kind of fade towards the basket, not too much that it goes down that hill. Or I like to throw a flex forehand, and that's also a play to get it around the corner. And you can see how tight it is here, Julian, into the fog. And that looks to be a bit right, and he might get lucky here.
Yeah, as long as it gets through everything and sits down. Perfect.
Luck be the lady tonight, this afternoon.
Well shot. Nice shot, Chris Brown.
Yeah, he's there. 22 feet uphill for a putt. Now, this might be the shot that I was describing. Let's see if James throws that overstable. Yep. Okay, so he didn't have enough turn on it, but the play there is to definitely avoid going down that slope, like we mentioned how treacherous it is to the left. And the fog is wreaking havoc on camera work, it looks like, Julian.
Looks like the discs are just disappearing into
this is the one others. Hole. I agree. And this is the one hole I lost we didn't know where my throw ended up. We ended up finding it, but we couldn't see it finish. As Cam lays up to the opening, probably just to collect a par, and Chris will go with that overstable forehand as well.
Looks like he's throwing a bottom stamp destroyer, if I had to guess. Bottom sign destroyer.
Top stamp. That's a bit better angle, but maybe too much. Let's see.
Oh, that's stable.
It's absolutely perfect and going to be parked probably.
Oh, can't wait to see where that one ended up. Oh, right there it is. We found it.
Yeah, and you might be able to see here just how hard, we'll see when they step up to their putts, how hard that ground was to get any kind of footing on whatsoever to have a stable footing for your putt. Cam with a little bit of a flex shot here probably. With that red disc that I assume was an AVR X3 or 3. Perfect.
Yeah, good upshot. Oh, that looks like an AVR 3 stamp.
Oh, come on, you don't know that. Are you serious? Are you that good? No. All right, at least you're honest. We like that here at TrueNorthDiscGolf.com.
James Duong, he was in a tough area, and that's a really great out.
Yeah, it looks like he threw his James Conrad AVR. I can see the hair stamp on it. James Conrad having the long lettuce that he does. And Chris for birdie, Julian. Chris Ozolins, that is.
Yeah.
Let me just clarify.
Keep an eye on his feet. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
No, no, I'm wrong. Maybe he had a bit of a muddy spot there, but that was a good run. And the hill behind it, Julian, makes it way easier to have a harder putt at that basket. Yeah. And Chris Brown for the lone bird on the card. Takes his time. Let's go.
Nice putt. Hit that tree.
Smashes a tree.
Let it know who's boss.
He's waving to someone. Maybe
Wave to the fans.
His wife Colleen was on the course. Julian, what do you think? Do you think maybe she was waving to him?
It could have been, or it could have been you at the top of the stairs. If you
I would have remembered that. Oh, wait. Maybe it was someone on my card. That's a good call. We were just one ahead of them. Cam converts for the par.
Now, watch Chris Ozolins' footing here, because that's a horrible spot to have to putt from.
No kidding. Maybe I was wrong of where the bad footing was. It's up. He might fall on his butt, Julian.
There you go.
Yeah. Good.
Well done. Now just be careful. Be careful. Yeah, there you go. Play it safe, Chris. Always play it safe, people. You don't want to get hurt. It's just a game. A fun, addicting sport of a game.
Clearly addicting when everyone goes outside in the rain in January.
All right.
Brown.
After hole 11, we had one birdie there, and he ties it up. So we have a three-way tie for first place right now.
Wow.
Assuming the other card is behind these guys, and that's at 4 down. James Duong rounding out the card at 2 over.
Yeah, and excited to see how this is the second half of the forest portion of the course. This one's downhill putter shot. Yeah, it's a very tight gap. This is one of those ones where you kind of aim at the middle tree, I would say, and I hope to God it misses it.
Yeah, hope that your aim's not that good.
Exactly. Hope that you're not perfectly on point with your aim. Get it down there. It's only 231 feet, so most of these guys are going to be throwing their...
I like the name of it, the peek and poke.
It's exactly what it is. Take a look. don't look again and just throw it. Julian, my brother here, gave me some good advice once. He said, don't even look where you're throwing. Just know that it's ahead of you and hope you miss some trees. As Chris doesn't look, and that's a bit hyzery.
And that hits an early tree and falls down. He'll still have he's probably only 120 feet from the basket.
Yeah, it's not super long.
Oh, we've got a harp.
We got a harp alert. Jeez, that was a straight harp.
Straight.
Ace run.
Nice
shot.
baby, what a shot by James Duong.
Jimmy D.
Hits the pole.
And that's the ideal shot clearly there.
Now this basket, I think you said you saw somebody hit chains and fall out for an ace.
Yes, from... Was it round one? I can't remember.
And big shout out to the guy on my card, my friend Connor Thompson. He actually hit the basket about 3 inches below the opening there. So 3 inches higher, and we would have had another ace on that one.
It's a good ace run as Cam Zanini parks it for his bird. See if Chris can follow suit. Chris Brown, his friend Chris Ozolins.
He throws it a little bit low, but gets a skip.
Hits the gap, and he'll have a circle one putt, which is really all you can ask for. It was a guy in front of me. I think he was from the short pad, maybe. Threw an Anheuser that was so fast that if it didn't hit the basket, it was going to be 60 feet long. But he crushed the chains on the pro side, and it just fell out. Unfortunately, had a bit too much speed on it.
Holy cow. Great upshot by Chris Brown there. And he is parked for his par.
Yeah, I think that was the first forehand we've seen from him.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I think so. Step putt from Chris. Oh!
And he had to stop himself from sliding out of place there, too. He almost fell.
Nobody wants a wet butt heading into round two, so that was smart of Chris to stop himself. As Cam has the absolute drop-in for bird.
Yeah, that orange disc he's got, it's got the Discmania Colorado stamp on it.
I wish I would have paid attention to his... Have I brought this up before? His in the bag?
Watch it.
I feel like a broken record here. Chris taps in his par. James with his park job for a birdie. And Chris Brown says, hey, that's a Frisbee. I've got a couple of those.
Give me that back. And look at that. We have a spectator on the loose, too.
Spectator alert. Yep, he was out there watching.
Now, that's dedication.
That is dedication, especially on a day like this.
Yeah. 2 birdies, 2 pars. Cam Zanini, has taken the solo lead of the MPO division, we assume, based on this being our feature card. So,
only 3 other players back there, so who knows what they're doing. I do, but I'm not going to spoil it. Heading us into probably the 3rd or 2nd hardest hole. I can't decide.
Oh, I like this hole. This one's...
It's like it's right in front of you.
Very picturesque.
Keep it in the middle, or you're exactly. And guys, if you haven't had a chance to play Christie Lake, don't judge it by what you're seeing in the winter, because this course in the summer is an absolute legend, especially the forest section. Throw something straight.
Yeah, 420 feet. I think it's a par 4 from longs.
It is, but you can see the tunnel. Like, it's very deliberate. This is what you have to do. So keep it in the middle.
And watch out for that one tree in the middle that you can see.
If you actually aim for that, it's a good aiming point, and get somewhere near it. You're maybe 200 feet out.
Oh wow! Come on,
James. Stay in the middle.
Wow.
He doesn't need it to.
Oh my gosh, that's all the way down there.
That's insane.
That is an unbelievable shot, and I'm glad because I've been hyping his forehand. That is way down there, Julian Murphy.
That's a really good shot, Justin Murphy. Cam Zanini lining up a backhand.
Probably a mid to keep it in the middle.
I wouldn't want to have to follow that shot, though.
This is also perfect.
So this is how to play disc golf, guys.
This is if you guys want to play a tunnel hole in the ice and fog, just kind of see what these guys are doing here, and you should be fine.
Oh my goodness.
I still can't get over that Jimmy D shot. That was
a lot further than I thought it was.
Yeah. Like 390 through a forest. Someone nice shot at them. Hopefully it ends up fine.
They nice shot at him right into a tree on the right there. But he still has an easy upshot.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. It's Chris Brown, guys. And not the one you're thinking of. It's the disc golf for Chris Brown. Ozolins.
Oh, man.
Getting his line. Snap. Come on. Be understable. Jeez, 4 really great drives.
Yeah, getting lots of distance, and that's really what all you want to do off the tee on this one. But if you can do it that well, do it, and you're going to be rated in the high 900s as well.
Easier said than done, my young brother. We played this whole 5 minutes before, and our outcome was, I'll say, aggressively different than this.
Another forehand from Chris Brown.
Yeah,
and he's inside the circle 1, I think there.
Yeah, he'll have a putt, maybe edge of circle. Yeah, good call. Maybe 38.5 feet. Let's do metric. 11.6 meters. In!
Oh. Someone please do the conversion on that. Is 38.5 feet 11.6 meters? Let us know.
I can do the conversion right now. It's not. You do it. Get your phone out. I'll call the shots for a second here. Guys, Julian is going to do that conversion to see how close my random guess was. As Cam throws a soft, buttery forehand. And if you keep your shot in the middle like these four gentlemen have, it's a very easy par 4. But as soon as you're off the fairway, which, spoiler alert, my 3 two-card mates were, it is a very different hole. James with an eagle putt. Get in the basket. And a good tree hit, so he's got 8 feet. Julian, how's our math doing over there?
Justin was way off. 38.5 feet is 11.7 meters, not 11.6. You were 10 centimeters off.
Oh, wow. That was way closer than I thought. I was thinking I'd be meters off. Ooh, doink. Chris Brown with a doink band hit. But still, within 9 feet for his par. Maybe 13 feet. And a aggressive breathe from our camera person.
Cam Zanini makes the birdie.
Mm-hmm. Chris Brown maintaining focus as an MPO player would, and he puts in his par. Shout out to our shot counter on the bottom to help Julian and I commentate this round perfectly.
So for a bird.
Well done, Julian. How did you know that?
It was a lucky guess. And another birdie.
Wow. And these guys are... Nice bag, Chris. These guys are showing that hole is actually easier than I said. By a mile.
Yeah, if you can throw a nice straight shot through a tunnel,
3 birdies.
You're going to do well on that one. So 3 birdies,
wow.
1 par, well played all around. We now have some separation happening on this card. So
yeah, good call.
6 down in first place for Cam, 5 down for Chris Ozolins, and 4 down for Chris Brown. And James Duong, he is on a bit of a streak here too, so he is even again.
Yeah, this is hole 14, 311 feet. There's kind of a weird gap on the left that no one ever goes for, but you can get lucky. The shot here is maybe something a bit stable. Hyzer, flip to flat, carry all the way through these pines. This is the most gorgeous hole in Ontario, I think. One of them. Top 3. And it's going to, you want it to fade and skip towards the basket. It is a true and true Hyzer. You can carry Hyzer the whole way, but you can see the shape of the shot here. There's one thing to do, and it's throw a flip to flat and then fade at the end. That might be a bit understable. Just kidding, it's perfect.
That's a great shot.
Come on. And that, I can't tell where it ended, but that looked like the ideal shot for this hole. And so did that.
Actually, on that beautiful hole comment that you had mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah.
First of all, great shot, Cam Zanini.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
There's one at, I think it's Viamede in Peterborough. That's
I've never played there. Dang.
That's like, I can't remember if it's over top of or it's a tunnel through big, like, what are they, like the big rocks, like the escarpment? Is that what it's called?
Limestone?
Like there's a really neat tunnel
Shield.
shot through through rock on either side of you. And if somebody has a picture of that hole, please send it to me.
I've never played Viamede yet. I've always wanted to.
Send it to Justin because he hasn't seen it. But that's a beautiful hole.
Okay, so let me clarify. This is one of the top 3, if not the most beautiful hole in southwestern Ontario. Then Ozolins kind of got a little left there. Hopefully he got a kick to the middle, and Chris Brown looks perfect. Just hit one of the guardian trees, unfortunately, but got most of the way up there. And he's aggressively yelling at something. Not really audible to us here in the studio. Looks like a circle 2 putt. I mean, if you get most of the way up there in a tunnel. See, here's the impromptu tunnel I was talking about. A guy in my card asked if all the trees fell like this, and I thought he was kidding. But I said, no, they've obviously been cut. And then he looked at me and winked, and I was like, was he joking?
Oh, yeah, he was joking.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
Because I was taken aback, as the phrase. Chris puts a nice forehand up. He's going to have a knee knocker for par, probably from 29.5 feet with 3/8 left over on it.
Chris Brown going for his birdie. His birdie.
Yep. Tough spit out. A little bit left side. It could have caught, could have not. It chose not on this occasion, so he'll have maybe an 11-footer for par. Padding his C1 stats. C1X, I should say. Excuse me, Julian.
James with
James
the JC AVR.
I was wondering where his shot ended up. We never got it. And this is...
The JD AVR.
Oh, money
Perfect.
In the bag.
Great bird. That's in for a bird, for sure.
Hundy P, bud. I thought James would collect himself here and This is how the pros do it. You start out with 4 or 5 bad holes and just crush it at the end here. And James is showing us that he is an MPO true and true. NorthDiscGolf.com. Now, Julian, is this a birdie putt?
Yes, it is.
Was that a birdie putt?
That was a birdie putt.
Yeah.
Cam's
Shout
in
out
for
to
bird.
our shot counter.
So let's see if Chris Ozolins here can save par.
This is no gimme, guys. This is no give me.
Give me the par.
Fist pump. Preemptive fist pump before it goes in the basket.
The Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus
Rex? King of the Brontosauruses.
Excuse me while I sip this delicious stout from Bell City Brewing. Chris Brown taps in his... spins the basket so we can see the 14 better. That is a pro move. Now we know which hole we're on.
I don't know if Jeff and Lisa, though, on the camera know what hole they're on.
They can't now because he spun the...
He turned it away from them.
They're lost. They're completely lost out there in the forest, and we need to help them. Speaking
Someone
of which...
should call the police. Don't actually. It was a joke.
Which, they're fine. They're here in the studio. 2 birdies. James Duong, Cam Zanini. Wonderful tunnel shots on the most beautiful hole, in my opinion, in Ontario.
It could still be top 3 in all of Ontario.
Well, that's just one guy's opinion.
So please send us your most beautiful holes in Ontario.
And keep it clean. So, hole 15, hanging basket, if I remember correctly. This is 372 feet. Probably want to throw something straight, land in this area here. I mean, the farther you can get, obviously, the better, but a safe place to end up about 250 feet in the middle, and then pick your poison left or right down the gap. And you can see here, it's very... You can't see whether there's fog or not where this basket is, Julian.
Yeah, James Duong. He tosses it a bit right, and he's aiming for some...
People on the other card.
Yeah, he's aiming for... is that FA1?
Looks like FA1. FA1, if we call them... Here, as we call them.
Cam Zanini, hoping to not kill anybody with his disc.
And throwing a disc that we will very easily see anywhere in the world.
Oh, hits a tree, but that's a really good shot.
Yeah, it is. He took off most of the distance there, and he should have about 110 feet to the basket. Just kind of a step out forehand, maybe, or a backhand. Let's see if Oz can make the correction here and just crush one up the gut, boys. This looks really nice.
Yeah,
You got to avoid that first tree. Oh, it hit it.
Why'd you say anything?
Well,
You jinxed people.
but you say that all the time, but it's already happened like last weekend.
I haven't seen it until right now.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry, Chris.
Schrodinger's disc golf shot.
Chris Brown, and not the one you're thinking, is throwing now. And come on, get through. Yeah, boys.
Oh my God.
He is down there, Julian.
He might have
Is this a par 4? It's a par 4.
He might have a circle 2 putt for an eagle.
No way.
He may.
Yeah, I think you're right. Chris, after the unfortunate tree hit, as he hit the line perfectly.
Until Justin said, watch out for that tree.
Yeah, that's my fault. I was channeling my inner Flintstones. Is that what they say? Watch out for the...
I think it's George of the
second-
Jungle.
I've done that
We've
before.
done this, yep.
Holy cow, bud. Get your references right, Murphy.
James Duong from FA1's card.
Oh my goodness
Wow.
gracious, James. Great
And
shot.
Everybody is happy about that shot. You can just hear the cheers from the spectator.
No kid. All of them. Him. And that is why having a proficient forehand at a course like this is key. And speaking of that, let's see what Cam can do here.
Yeah, he got pretty far down.
Yeah, you did have some distance. And you want a close putt on this elevated basket, as it is the only one. You don't really practice these often on a higher basket, so hopefully you can get close. This looks really good.
Come on.
Under it.
Come on. What an upshot. Cam Zanini with that buttery smooth,
No kidding, Julian.
silky paw forehand.
Pardon me?
You heard me.
Did you say silky paw?
Silky paws.
Oh, silky paw, like smooth hands.
Yeah.
Got it. I should know that. Sounds like a hockey term. Chris long putting, and he's gonna have like a 28-footer on elevated basket. It's another tough one.
Yeah,
So
but he's been on with his putting so far this round.
Yeah, he converted on a 30-footer
Come
last
on,
one.
look how far Chris
Is
Brown
this
is
Chris
for his
Brown's
eagle.
putt? Let's go here.
Woo!
That is an eagle, guys.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you
I
better
get it.
smile. Nice shot, Chris. Not the one you're thinking of either.
Ozolins?
Yes. exactly. What did you think I meant? Rihanna's ex? James Duong, the basket's still moving. Let's see if he can circus this putt in.
Oh,
doink.
shoot.
Oh, that's too bad. He really was stringing together a streak of holes here, Julian. Was that for...
That was for
a
birdie.
Okay.
Yep.
Still, though, James is going to want that putt.
Speaking of pars,
Was it par or was that bird? Yes, par. Gosh, the shot counter. I got to pay attention here.
nice cleanup from Oz.
Also, nice basket. Nice disc retrieval from the basket. James with his par and Cam with the birdie. And James getting stuck in the basket. Hopefully he's okay. And Chris Brown discussing angles with our camera crew, of course, because Chris Brown is...
Angles and Eagles from Chris Brown. Birdie for Cam
That's why
Zanini.
you and I are brothers. We can pick each other up in commentary. That was perfect.
Par for Chris Ozolins and a par for James Duong. That eagle was pretty important. He was starting to fall back a little bit of Cam Zanini. Gains a stroke, even though
Wow.
Cam birdied it. Cam is on fire right now. 8 down, 6 down for Chris Brown. I just like the way that sounds.
Dr.
Oh, I
Zeus.
can't stop. I'm going to town. Okay, hole 16, 196 feet, par 3. It is a short left to right finishing hole. There is a large tree in the way of the basket that you can kind of see on the right side of the screen right now. That's really the only obstacle in the way. As well, there are some earlier trees that if you throw and grip lock a disc far to the left, you will end up far to the left and get a double bogey.
That sounds like Julian again. And Chris throwing a forehand, which I believe is the play here. You got to be at left side of that tree in the middle. I'll try and describe it here.
Oh, flex
Okay,
forehand.
this looks fine. He's got to get around the big one, though.
And he did.
And he did. Actually, he was short of it, so that can happen as well. I got very lucky. My round, I went short of that tree as I was trying to go long of it, and I was about 10 feet, so I got lucky. And Cam with that sawed-off forehand,
You know,
tough hit.
He should still have a fairly easy upshot. That kick to the center.
No, I don't know if it's... I wouldn't describe it as fairly easy. It's... You got to get around that big three-pronged tree still, and hopefully it's easy for him. Shout out to Atticus on James's hat. Nope,
Oh, wow.
keep going. It's going to work. And okay, so the only other thing that wasn't mentioned in the whole layout preview is that down that, past those weird fallen down trees there, is a river 40 feet down a hill, and it drops off.
Inbounds.
Inbounds, but still. Actually, on my card, the guy went down to the river, and we just told him to grab it off the ice and shoot from there with no penalty stroke. So kind of a nice thing to do in a fun tournament, right? You don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It's for charity, so not
sure.
sanctioned for all you hardcores out there. Zanini. Going to the forehand, Julian.
Get around it.
Looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Money.
If you don't get the birdie opportunity, make sure you get the easiest par possible, and Cam did that perfectly on hole 16 here at Christie Lake in southwestern Ontario, Hamilton. N2H3, I had no idea.
That was the postal code in case there's any Americans watching. We don't have zip codes here.
Uh-oh.
Hits a
He
tree
should
and
be fine still.
he's inside the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Good
for him.
hit. Could have kicked backwards.
Chris Brown.
No.
Not the
Shout
one
out
you're
to Chris
thinking of.
Brown. Thank you. This would be a hard putt to make with a camera staring at you.
Yes, very good call.
Good for him.
But we got the good angle on it.
Yeah.
We don't care. He's getting that birdie regardless.
James Duong showing his focus.
Oh, wow. That almost kicked back on the backside there.
He's such a good putter.
I wouldn't want to see that in slow motion because it would put me a little on edge.
Agreed.
Chris Ozolins with the par.
And sloppy conditions out there. I know personally, I'm not sure about you. I can't remember what you did. I changed my wardrobe completely for the second round.
Yep.
Footwear, socks, everything. I brought 2 of everything. It was that bad out there.
Cam Zanini throws that in from 5 feet away.
Which means he converted for a par.
He did tap that
in
par in.
disc golf scores, as Chris records the disc golf scores on his card. And on to hole 17, young Julian.
So, after hole 16, we are sitting at Chris Brown gaining a stroke on Cam.
Wow.
Cam is 8 down in the lead, 7 down for Chris Brown. It just sounds so good when I say
Go to town,
it.
yeah.
Go to town.
Dr.
Chris
Seuss.
Ozolins, 5 down. James Duong is putting together a fantastic back 9, and he's 2 under now.
Yeah, no kidding. What was he at? Maybe
I think he
3
was
or 4 over?
3 up, I think.
He's smashing this back nine, as James Duong would do with his strong, positive mentality.
Yeah, hole 17. It's a par 4, 393 feet. You want to take a big forehand would likely be a good starting play on this one, or a turnover backhand.
Those are the two for sure.
Or a roller, but not in these conditions.
Yeah, good call.
A thumber.
A lefty kick foot. Like, there's so many things you could do here.
A lefty kick foot.
That's not actually a disc golf term, in case any new viewers are watching this. And that's going to be early. I was on I think I saw these drives live. I was paying attention thinking, am I going to make it to lead card for the next round? So I saw Chris Brown throw that, and I thought, maybe he's having a tough day.
Not realizing that he was in second
Actually,
place at
7 down.
7 down.
And this looks more better, is what I would say.
Oh, I didn't like the grammar there.
More gooder?
More good. Oh.
What's worse?
Both.
Are you gagging on my grammar?
Yeah.
Jeez, sorry, man. That was a better shot.
That was, yeah,
Okay.
there we go. All
That was
right.
a better shot.
That was
Still
much more better.
fortunate kick, and Cam throws it nice. With, I believe he talked, what was that disc he said he threw and is in the bag? He described it literally with this hole. He said, sometimes I get this to, was it a max that was understable? He said he had an understable max, or
was it the
Enigma.
SL?
Maybe the Enigma, or the SL. Maybe it's his SL.
Let's see what Oz does here. He has a big arm.
Oh, that was looking so good.
Oh.
And bottom line is he got to the short tee, which is still fine.
Yeah.
You're in, as long as you stay in the middle, as you can. Chris Brown will tell you, yes, please stay in the middle.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be
Not
here.
the Chris Brown you're thinking of either.
And that's really all he could do.
There's loud cheers. Yes.
Well, now he's got a tee pad.
That was a very
was
wise beyond
strategic.
his years, Julian. Oh, and a rubber tee pad, hyzer flip. Sit.
Hits
All
the
right.
tree. He's just outside of the circle.
Yep. Not contesting with that CTP prize there, but that's okay. A, because that was his second shot.
Mm-hmm.
And B, because it wasn't close to it.
It needs to turn a little bit more.
This looks really, really good. Is what I would say if it wasn't behind a beat tree for his birdie.
He's probably right on top of Chris Brown's discs, so the Chris's are hanging out together.
Making minis.
Their discs are making minis in the bushes.
Grow up, Julian.
James Duong.
Hey, that looks like a James Conrad Aviar. Come on, stable up. Those things are stable, aren't they?
Yeah, he's still good. He's inside the circle.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that putt.
And not as much of an obstruction as the other two guys.
True. Wide open putt, 22 feet.
And
And who's last here, Julian?
finally going to get to Cam Zanini's drive.
Yeah, that must be that SL. Good call on that. So you actually ended up watching it eventually,
I
obviously.
did watch it. I didn't memorize them all, unfortunately.
AVR 3 then, Julian? Or
I think it's the AVR 3.
I think so too.
It doesn't seem stable enough.
Oh
for
no,
an
the
X3.
one thing to miss in the fairway. And you almost, it's like one of those holes where you pick it. You're like, okay, aim at the telephone pole. I know I'm going to miss it. Tough break for Cam there. And he's got a 45-footer from the stuff that's really, really rough over there. Chris Brown must be farther than Cam. I wouldn't have guessed that. Let's see here.
Chris
Oh my
Brown from
goodness.
downtown.
Charlie Brown.
Well down.
And he's not going to drown. It's not even that deep. To God, I'm sorry. That was Chris Brown for bird, and yes, not the one you're thinking of. And Cam throwing it. What's this putt called? Anyone know this?
What on? That's called the dad putt. That's
the grandma playing basketball
no,
shot.
the dad at the beach throwing a frisbee. They always throw it from
But I'm a dad, and I don't throw it like that. You're a dad. You don't throw
like
it
a
like that.
dad's dad.
Like
A grandfather.
A grandfather. Okay. Hey, Grandpa, want to toss the old frisbee around?
Sure, let me just throw it from behind my back.
How did you get my grandfather's voice? So is it because it's yours too?
Right, that makes sense.
Perfect.
Hi.
Chris missed the birdie putt there.
James Duong from not so long as Chris Brown from downtown.
Okay, and Dr. Seuss in the studio. Shout out to
Making
Theo.
everyone frown.
Shout out to Theo Lesigue. Dr. Seuss's actual name. It's a true story. Theo Lesigue. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's his name.
That's not.
Theo something. Yes, it is. Google. Okay.
Geisel. Theodore Geisel.
No, it's not. I'm looking right now. Julian, you take over for me for a second.
All right. Chris Ozolins makes his putt, and Cam Zanini tapping in. tapping out. He's in a lot of pain.
What is? You're always right on these things. Dr. Seuss.
Theodore Seuss Geisel is his name. We'll find out in a second.
No, I'm telling you, it's like Theo Lesage. Oh, what? It's Theodore Seuss Geisel. Julian was right. I'm sorry, Julian.
One birdie from James Duong.
Okay, can I check
Gonna
if Theo
bask in
Lesage
this?
is?
And look at, he's 3 down now.
I can't
Like,
look
he's
right now.
catching up. This is unreal.
Julian, this is way more important.
Cam Zanini is 8
Then
down.
why does it say this? Theo Lesage is Dr. Seuss. Isn't that weird? Oh, it's backwards. Geisel backwards is Lesage.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, he's messing with us. Lesage backwards is Geisel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Hole 18, 401 feet. It's a par 4. After that amazing Ace Ventura reference.
Thank you.
This hole is a tough one.
It's a beast.
It says par 3 on the sign in the corner. Don't be fooled. It is a long...
Is it a par? I think it plays...
It's a par 4.
Our graphics team, yeah, par 4.
Yeah, it's a long straight drive and then a sharp right turn and maybe 120 feet from there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see what James Duong here does on his drive.
Uh-oh. Come on, get lucky. Yep, and James cheers the fist pumps a little prematurely.
It's really not too bad to land on that side because you have a more open look down towards the basket.
Yeah, I'd say the more left, the better. The key of this hole is staying in the middle because the stuff on the right, I've been in there a couple times, is very bad. And I think I heard some things about this shot. Let's see here. Unless it was from shorts. Maybe I'm thinking of something different.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
not this one. And that's going to be...
Oh, no, that's a horrible location. So he's behind the short tee there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he has a bit of a line from there, but it's nasty on the right side.
Yeah, and he can pitch past the tree in the middle there. There's a thumber line. If you can just kind of get out maybe 100 feet from where he is, and hopefully he can... You can get creative. That's the point. But it's you got to be in the middle on this one like this. This is ideal.
Yeah, that's a great shot there from Cam
Cam
Zanini.
will set himself up. We've seen a thumber from Cam Zanini at the provincials before where he parked the island.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he set himself up. That's the prime thumber spot to get to this basket because from there's no other way. I'm telling you, it's the thickest schnarb in the entire world.
Yeah, I've taken many a 6 or 7 from being in that.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Oh, good kick.
And
Absolutely fortunate. Great tree kick.
great kick for Chris there, and why not? You mean, listen, you got to throw the disc to get lucky, Julian. Who knows where it's going to end up? And from a picnic table, and let me know. Let me tell you, I know what that feels like.
Yeah, tough out. He's in the other side now.
Yeah, Chris
Uh-oh.
gives what we're all thinking, like,
Ugh.
uh-oh. Flex forehand, hopefully around the corner for Christopher Brown here, not Rihanna's Chris Brown. Sorry for making you laugh, Julian. And come on now.
Oh, baby. Get around it. And he does.
Oh, what a
That
shot
was
from a knee.
Great recovery shot. I know that was for the bird. Very far away for that, but he
that
actually
for
has a
his bird?
chance
Oh,
at
yeah.
potentially a par, but
Yeah.
it's tough to save strokes if you end up in the bad stuff
So a
early on.
hyzer bomb. Sorry, Julian. Not a thumber. I thought maybe a thumber from Cam. He's got a great one. And
Oh,
wow.
Come on.
Jeepers creepers.
Where'd you get those
Peepers.
disc shots?
That is
That was a great shot.
Yeah, great shot. And
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
the Bronte Classic Firebird, probably, from Chris Oz here.
Oh,
Skip.
yeah.
Big skip. Big skip now.
Roll down the hill.
Roll to the basket.
Where you
No.
going?
Bye.
Come back this way, guys.
Come back.
Hey, okay.
And James already lining his shot up in the background. Not waiting for Chris's disc to come to a rest because this isn't sanctioned. And yeah, circles.
And that
edge
disc
putt
is
for
now
James.
gone. It blends in perfectly with the ground. So that will never be found again.
Unless they trip on it on the way to the hole. And Chris Brown with an awkward patent pending shot here. And we should say something because that was really long. I thought he was going to throw it quicker than that. Good
Great
shot
up.
from Chris.
Yep, great up. Easy tap and bogue.
James is saying something funny and Cam's laughing at it, so that's cool. Good camaraderie on that group. And
No bum spanks, though.
no, definitely not from no one from St. Thomas on this card. Shout out to Clam Morton.
For his existence, his beautiful, beautiful existence.
Yeah, and we saw Chris Ozolins connect on one of those earlier in the round for an eagle.
That would have been unreal.
Yeah, actually, was that for an eagle as well? No,
that was for a bird.
birdie, right? Shout out to our shot tracker down there, shot counter.
It is a very difficult hole to birdie, this one.
Yep. And James going to show us that butter putt. Come on, be so smooth for me. Yeah, so good.
Well done. He loves those Conrad Aviars, eh?
Well, it's because he has a lot of pace on his putts, so it doesn't have time to really fade out. And if you find something that you like, why switch?
Good call.
Cam, I'm not sure if there's like some schnarb in his back reach here. Nope, he should be good.
Oh,
Is what I would say if you didn't miss that.
unfortunate
Sorry, Cam.
skip out though. That looked like it was going to be in, but didn't quite catch enough chain.
Yeah, and sometimes actually, I believe it was the first time we saw Cam go to a straddle. Sometimes the first straddle of a round, it's really hard to get the line exactly right. So especially with ice under your feet.
Agreed.
So maybe that happened. Fortunately for Cam, it was the last hole of the round.
Yeah.
So he can go in and have some delicious chili. #volunteer work. We had about 12 volunteers bring delicious cookers full of chili. So
that was
thank you
good.
so much. Every chili was good. I tried all of them. My bowels weren't happy the next day, but my stomach was happy and my mouth was happy.
Yeah, you guys go get some lunch. You've earned
Speaking
it.
of disc golf,
3 down. A birdie for James Duong, 2 pars and a bogey.
yep.
And what do we have? We have in 4th place James Duong with 4 down, Chris Ozolins in 3rd with 5 down, Chris Brown at 6 down, and
Wow.
Cam Zanini rounding out the card, first
James-
place right now with 8 down. And
James really came back on that. I think he was like 7 down on the back nine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, something crazy.
yeah, and rounding out our MPO division, we have in 7th place Jeremy Hewitt with a 9 over, Marco Gurgic.
Yeah, he told me how to say it. I forgot. though.
At 1 over, and tied with him is Justin
it was a nobody. Doesn't matter.
Ephraim, for taking a page out of Theodore Lesage.
Gosh dang it, Julian.
Thank you very much for joining us for round 1 coverage of the Christie Lake Ice Bowl. Visit TrueNorthDiscGolf.com to get more of our content, more of our just overall disc golf love in Canada, and check out the retail store.
Which we are at right now.
We're above it.
It's below us right now,
We're in
and
a
we're going
studio.
down to shop right after this. So guys, stay tuned. We're going to have the lead card, which is actually, funny enough, it's going to be the feature card that
Same
we just
guys.
saw. Same 4 guys, because myself, Marco, and Jeremy had nothing to do with it at all today. We just kind of had some fun out there. So stick around for the back 20.
Yeah,
The
let's
final
do it.
20. Let's do it. Catch you soon.